Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Another month down, so time for my latest edition of Final Thoughts for Strange New Worlds 2 Part 2 or Gorn Invasion Part 2, depending on how you think of it. Yes, I know it's like titled Gorn Invasion, but really just feels like it should be just Strange New Worlds Part 2. Strange New Worlds 2 Part 2. Let's call it that. It's simpler. And got my notes here. Start off how I always start off the officers. 2 officers this month. James Kirk, the Strange New Worlds version of James Kirk for the, third or fourth version of Kirk in this game. Getting a little confusing at this point. And Pelia. Kirk, I was able to unlock, as most of you know, right? How many videos testing out and trying to see exactly what we'll get from Kirk. Now, I do like his captain ability. I do. Especially with synergy moves. It can move all the damage from the opponent's shields to the hull. It sounds fantastic. And some loops, some grinds against some hostiles, it does work fantastically. The real issue is how many loops and are there better hostile captains out there? Some of that, it does depend on you as the player and who else you have. So let's say you don't have Janeway. Well, Kirk's probably going to be your best, your next best go-to. Say it's not that you don't care about loot but it's really you want to get the kill first. You want to make sure you're getting the kills. So then, Enterprise E Picard you're scratching that one off the list, right? Kirk is going to do better for you. And in a lot of ways, he's definitely a better captain for the Strange New Worlds crew than Pike. While Pike does have the similar officer ability, it just never really gets up there high enough, in my opinion, without certain other boosts. And his captain ability shifts more of your opponent's damage to your shields, which can be useful. It can be very useful. But can your shields take it? And at the same time, with Kirk making more damage happen against your opponent, does that lessen the damage you receive overall? It does, while also creating more damage. Okay, on to the rare. But he's a fine officer. Definitely not a must-have, but very useful officer. Look at Pelia. I don't even know what the hell our officer abilities are. And you know what? I don't give a shit. 12 of 39 shards for what? Third straight month. No rare officers. For free to play, or even the people that buy the $20 battle pass. I can kinda understand not allowing free to play players to have the rare officer in a month. I don't like it and I don't agree with it. I get it. But if people are going to buy the $20 battle pass, the rare has to be in there. And if you don't put the rare in there, then you know what? You're trash. You're trash. You got to give people something, especially if they give you $20. $20, you can't even give me the rare officer? Really? And I'm not even saying, let me get her to tier 5. Because that's the thing. It's not like once you unlock the officer, oh, that's it. You're golden now. No, because unlock is tier 1, and then there's tier 2, and then there's tier 3, and then there's tier 4, and then there's tier 5. So giving players a tier 1 of an officer should be the norm. Otherwise, what the hell are you creating the officer for? Nobody has her. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. what else I got written down about these officers? The sourcing mechanic. There is a sourcing mechanic which, does move the needle back towards the good. Not that it moves it to good, but it moves it towards good. How long until it is a free to play? Because right now, the sourcing is through the Excelsior. But what's the Excelsior free to play path? Which I will get into later, but as far as I can tell, there's none. And looking at again, from outside information, outside sources, I guess, how long it takes to tear up the ship and to tear up the refinery and to gather currency for the refinery, because, another damn currency. I don't know that it goes fast enough to really be that good. And I'm not even sure yet that we can call it sourcing, because I don't know personally that when you click the refine button that you will get officers, because just because they're in the chest doesn't mean you will get the officers. It means you have a chance to get the officers, and I don't consider that sourcing, because you can literally pull the thing 10 days and get no officers. I don't see how that's sourcing. So, that all being said, the shittily in-month source of the officers and the shitty after-month sourcing, and the fact that I don't like the way they've been doing the material spends. I do like the SOB attached with a milestone. I like that. I just don't like that we're removing that from the third weekend for an XSLB for incursion prep bullshit. Hate that. Can't stand it. Should be 3 straight weekends of material spends for the epic officer. And yes, a milestone each of the 3 weekends. You're going to make money. Provided you made a good officer. You make a shit-ass officer. You know what? People aren't going to buy packs to spend, are they? But people will buy the packs to be able to do certain milestones. Not everybody will, but people will. And you don't do this stuff because why? Well, while you refuse to answer that question of why, you now know why, because of the last 10 minutes of me telling you, why you're getting thumbs down on the officers. And we'll stick a tongue out at you, bastards. Let's move on to the missions. Pretty much the same thing I said the last month, right? Once again, way too many kill X amount of hostiles tasks. How many? I mean, good God. Why does there have to be so many? Not that I really understand why each mission has to have 5 parts and then at least 5 tasks within each 5 parts. It doesn't have to be that many. You could make it less if you want to be able to code and make and plan and program, or however, all these missions. You could just make it less tasks total. But no, kill 10 hostiles in this system. Kill 10 hostiles in that system. Kill 10 hostiles this level or higher. To a certain extent, it's getting to the point where, why the hell am I even doing the missions? Why? There's barely a reward, and they want you to do a whole bunch of shit that takes 30 minutes to an hour to do. And that's if you wait a while. Because if you're doing it like in the first few days, the mission hunters are out there killing you at mission points. So how long does it take you to do it then? Longer. Whatever, man. And probably the most inexcusable thing, they did make a mission maybe not surrounding, I guess, based on the Excelsior. And at the end of the mission, it was like, build the Excelsior. Oh. So you can't even do the mission free to play, which is technically fine. Like, that's okay. But when you make an event that's supposed to be done free to play by every single player, then it doesn't, that doesn't work. Because how do you do the mission? Well, you can't unless you buy the ship, and that's how you complete the event. Now, yes, they did fix it, but how do you fuck that up? How? I mean, what? How do you fuck that up? They didn't source this ship free to play in the month. How were people going to do the mission? Pay for the ship, that's it. Is that what you intended to do? No, that can't be, because to a certain extent, you moved very quickly to rectify the mistake with the event. Now, yes, you did. I mean, you did a good job at rectifying the mistake, but at the same time, how do you fuck that up? Like, how do you fuck that up initially? It's just, it's a head scratcher. Like, is y'all really that dumb? Here, I want to make this mission to go into the event or to complete milestones in the event. Oh, build the ship that we're only allowing you to get if you pay for it. How do you, what, how? Out of here with that bullshit. Events. I did say this in the video. I do like, and I probably should be like having the events page up, since I'm trying to like have some kind of relevant background, even though I'm doing a terrible job because I'm just going on and on and on and on with this shit. Oh, they didn't even have that shit up. The ticket event. We'll go with the ticket events because there's a theme here. I do like how they changed the event store month ticket events. The weekend ones were for your materials and your resources, and then the rare ticket, if you were able to get a rare ticket that weekend, to be done Monday during a rare ticket event. That's where the event store currency came from. And yes, you can do this free to play. Now, you have to save all your tickets, because you will get 9 free tickets, and then do all those 9 ticket events in one weekend to get a rare ticket. But you can get a rare ticket for free. Rev Deuce has explained that. I think I have explained that. At least I think I have. Tried a quick summary right there if I didn't explain it enough. At least as of the way they're sourcing tickets right now, you will get 9 free tickets a month. At least, anyway. Depending on time and when you pull them, you can get more. So there you go. You can get your 9 tickets, and then you can do all of the ticket events in one weekend, and therefore get a rare ticket free to play. Now, if you want, we'll see how they do things. You can start doing that in off event store month and stack up rare tickets to be used during an event store month. And you can get more event store currency that way. You can do that. Whether that's better for you or not, I don't know. Something you really got to decide on yourself. But I do like it. Now, about the events, the other events in general, I did think there seemed to be, at least it felt like it. Whether there was or not, I don't know. I don't go in there and count the events, because that's not, to me, that kind of defeats the purpose of this. Because if I feel bad about the events, isn't that really what counts? And it just felt like there were a lot more solo leaderboards than there usually were. Maybe because there were also maybe a few more alliance leaderboards than there usually were. And it just, I get it. Hey man, you make these leaderboards so it makes people, big spenders, look at the leaderboard in the event and say, oh, well, if I, want to do anything in this event, I got to go buy a pack. Okay, let me go buy a pack. And then you make money that way. Makes sense, But for the rest of us, you populate these events, it's a leaderboard, like, all right, well, I guess I'm not participating there. So you kind of have less participation. I mean, you got to try to find a way to, and my suggestion here is pair every solo leaderboard with a very similar milestone. That way you get the engagement, but you'll get the spenders being like, oh, well, okay, I did the milestone. Well, I would still like to compete more in this leaderboard. Let me go buy a pack. So you can, you're getting two things right there. You're getting a high engagement, hopefully, at least that way it would design to be with the more milestones. And you're also selling more packs because you're making these leaderboards to get the spenders to buy the packs. And they go do it because that's their thing. But again, you can take care of everybody with just, have a paired milestone with the leaderboard. It just makes so much sense to me. Your low spend players or free to play players are happy because they can engage with events, they can get currencies of some kind, and then you're happy because all your spenders are spending money on packs, and spenders are happy because they bought a whole bunch of packs with a whole bunch of fancy shit in it, and they participated in these leaderboards and got, hopefully, a nice rank in the leaderboards. Sounds like a win-win for everybody, but yet you don't do it. Or at least you don't do it enough, in my opinion, but that is just an opinion. For all I know out there, everybody else is like, I think it's fine. So, I think I'll go with, I don't know, I'll give the events a thumbs up. Rare for me to give anything a thumbs up, but I do like the change in the ticket event. I think it was something we asked for, and we got it. Because it's hard to do any kind of material spend, or really to do any kind of upgrades to your ships, if you're not getting any resources or materials from events in the Ark, right? It's hard to do that. Now, it's not as much, but it's some, and you can do some upgrades. So that's a good thing. Mainly because some of us out here asked for it. So stick with the thumbs up. Now let's features. Oh God. And features, because there's two of them. There's ship and the event store. Yay, another new ship. Okay, so it kind of fits in a previous loop. But at the same time, it does kind of feel like it's its own loop, which we don't like. Not that it really matters, because what's the free-to-play path? I don't know. It's possible I missed it. Maybe I haven't been watching as much Rev Deuce or Ultimate DJs or Tiberius or Lou, because I'm just down on the fact that, another stupid loop and another stupid ship. It's possible. But what's the free-to-play path? Oh, there is a weekly event plan. Okay. Cool. What do I got to do? How many prints am I going to get? Nothing? Oh, okay. No. Oh. Sorry. I don't trust you assholes as much far as I can throw you. Okay? So there's no free-to-play path, as far as I'm concerned. Until you prove otherwise, this is the reverse of like American justice. You are guilty until proven innocent. Okay? It's not, you don't get to be innocent until proven guilty. No. After as much bullshit as you put us through, you are guilty until proven innocent. So prove that there is a sourcing path and you can get the pass here. But until then, you get nothing. What else I like about it? Again, from outside source. To me, it looks, with all the charts that people made for the Excelsior, and we want to thank Jules Verne and Blue Mandalorian and John Connor and all the folks out there that help with those charts. They're very useful to a lot of us, but looks like the charts, it just, I guess it's more of a rich person problem, right? For me, up here at level 59, going on 60, it looks like it's going to take a long time to get the Excelsior up to par with my level. Now, if you're a level 42, it's probably going to say it's going to take you a lot less time, right, to get it up to where you are. You can go into your normal systems that you go into and get the right, not necessarily the right amount of currency for all your refunds. It'll take me a lot longer. I don't really like, but whatever. Like, I don't get why my refinery doesn't pay out more because I'm a higher level. So instead of it taking 2 weeks to get to tier 2, because you build it at tier 1, why doesn't it take like 5 days? Why does it have to take more than a week to get to tier 2? Because then tier 2 to 3 is like 4 weeks or something. I looked at the charts a while ago. I didn't memorize the details, but that is usually how it goes, and I don't like it. So, you can have a big old fat thumbs down on your stupid dumbass shit. And because I said features, yes, Event Store. Talk about the Event Store now. Oh, God. You know how much I love event stores now. Used to love the event stores, but it just seems like now not enough is being added. To a certain extent, I think it is because they have been adding so much through these past months. I mean, how many primes with specific currencies? How many ships? How many artifacts? How many fancy-ass buildings with special currencies? What else I got written down here? I said artifacts. Refits. How many refits for different ships are there? How many different projectiles are there? Why have they not been added to the event store? Why? Getting to a point here where it's like you're not adding enough to an event store for anybody to give a shit about an event store. Or at least a lot less people are giving a shit about an event store than maybe they had been in the past. Because you won't update the event store. Like, there are how many refits for the Fisha that are how many years old? What? You have a refit section. Let's go to the event store. Oh, and I gotta spend this shit, don't I? You have a refit section. Why is the Fisha refit not in here? You have all these dumbass cloaks. Cerritos refit. I would love to have the Cerritos refit, but it's kind of expensive. Because why? Okay, whatever. And all these cloaks. Whatever. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say your event store is good when it's like, I see a whole bunch of things that should be added, and you're just like, nah, we're not going to add it. I guess because you feel like you have to do a whole bunch of extra work, and you're not gaining enough money off of it. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because if you had a whole bunch of shit, you added all these refits and all these projectiles, and let's say the NX-01. Not sure why that didn't go in here. If you add more things that players want, wouldn't more players buy extra currency? Wouldn't they? Hey, maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, you got the event for, spend event store currency. You think it would entice more players to buy currency. Oh, you know what? Shit. I didn't spend any event. I didn't get any extra doctor shards. Could have gotten more, I guess. Totally forgot because I didn't really give a shit. Partly because it's like, where's the shit in the event store? I thought the payout, at least for free to play based on some of the milestones, I thought it was okay. It's not fantastic or anything, but it was about 450,000, which is about on par for, a free to play person. I got a little more because I'm a little bit more of a spender. It's fine. I mean, it's only been 2-3 months since the last event store, so if they keep that up and base it on how many months since the last event store, should be okay. I mean, I'm not that worried about it. Partially at the same time, because like I'm like, where's the shit I actually want? I don't want none of this bullshit. It just seems kind of silly for someone like me to come in here and be like, oh, the only thing is the officers because it's the only thing that's new. Because with every event store, you know what? You work towards whatever refits are in there. You work towards whatever ship parts are in there. You work towards whatever blueprints are in there. And if you never update that shit, then eventually, how many players are, well, I'm done with the refits, I'm done with the ship parts, I'm done with the blueprints, I don't want this currency, I don't care about these cosmetics, so it's just officers. That's not a good thing. Almost defeats the purpose of doing an event store. But you keep doing this. Because, well, by working less on the event store, you essentially, you're cutting costs. So all the money you get, is more profit. Because you don't have to pay the workers to fix event store shit or add things to an event store because you don't do that at all. And it's just, I don't know if I see it because I feel like I see if you would add more of these refits and maybe some of these prime currencies, especially some of these building currencies, because it wasn't a thing before, but it is now. I mean, how many different buildings with how many different separate owned dumbass currencies are there? Would you get more people to buy the packs? I feel like you would. And then therefore, you could make some money off of that. It sounds like it, right? It sounds like you would make more money if you put a few, I don't want to call them old things, but they are kind of old at this point. If you put more of these old refits that, aren't in the event store, and some of these old projectiles that aren't in the event store and have no other sourcing, it seems like you could make more money, right? But, I mean, I'm not I don't have the information that these people have, but I'm sure they're looking into different ways to entice players to buy packs because, that's how you make money. If nobody buys packs, you don't make any money, and then the game dies. You don't want that. But making the event store a little better, wouldn't that enhance things? More engagement. More people buying packs. Isn't that a way to boost the game? Game makes more money, there's more engagement. Then game makes more money. Then there's more engagement. Then, to me, it's a progressive cycle, and what you're doing is like a regressive cycle. It doesn't, but again, I'm not an economist or a business management person or, anybody that knows anything about this analytical data of, profits and whatnots. Just some idiot in his basement talking to you about some bullshit, I guess. So, event store features, and you know what? Another 2 thumbs down. Make sure you see it. I don't remember where I'm going to crop all this shit, but just the event, I guess I'm disappointed. And I think I just keep getting more and more disappointed. Especially with the event store month. Because I used to love the event store month. Because it's all about, shit that doesn't have any sourcing at all. I can now get it. I can get my Vidar. I can get my Franklin. I can get a few more officer shards. Tier some of them up or unlock them. Get a few more of these ship part currencies. Because I did that. I did that with the Discovery. I had a max Discovery relatively, definitely before, level 40. And a lot more efficient spending that jump juice. It's very nice, very useful. It's like the luster seems to be going away because I've gotten a lot of the shit. And they're not adding any shit in there to replace this shit that players already get. Because. Just kind of depressing. Missions getting shitty now. Officers especially the rare officers just aren't getting sourced. And yes, I am wrapping this video up. The video will be ending soon. Make sure. That is something I learned in school. You don't want to just end a video. You do want to kind of allude that the video is coming to an end. Missions have just gone downhill. No sourcing for rare officers, which is terrible. You got to give people rare officer in the month. Another ship. I don't want another ship in another loop. I don't care anymore. Hell, I don't even got the NX-01 yet. I don't care about the Excelsior. And just nothing new coming into the event store. It drags everything down to me. It's just my opinion. One of these days, hopefully you think they'll get off their ass and they'll do something about it. Because God forbid, we don't want to add any more to the event store. We don't want to add any more shit to the event store. Tell me, why the hell you got so many Talios and Franklin warp components? Players get first round for free, but you're going to make... Okay, big spenders, they went and bought themselves a second Talios, and now they want the warp and the locks because they already got their free one. They can't get the second one. Why would you even make them wait for an event store to get that? Why would big spenders or even medium spenders or whoever gets the Talios, why would you accept that? Why is that even acceptable? I gave you extra money for another Talios. Just give me the warp components. Why are you going to make me wait for an event store and spend event store currency on it? It's kind of shitty. Shitty. Because there's not that much benefit to having another Talios. There's really not. Alright. Kind of a long wrap up, wasn't it? Oh well. So comment below. What did you think about this month? Assuming you kept track of it, and I didn't keep great track of the event store currency payout. Did you think you got a fair amount this month? Free to play anyway. Hopefully you did. And do you notice as little change to the event store as I do? Do you still find event store months enjoyable? Are you still getting things that you wouldn't get otherwise? Hopefully you are enjoying it. Hopefully you all out there are enjoying it much more than I am, because it's not a good thing if nobody's enjoying this stuff. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.